Hello and welcome to the Random Pinoy Geek podcast. I'm your random host, Sushi, and with me are
Elvin?
And JR.
we're friends and geeks who grew up in the Philippines, and in each episode, we hang out and talk about things that are near and dear to all our
Little geeky hearts.
This is a show where we share 3 random topics that we geek out to until the timer runs out. But before we start, if you would like to support the show and are a content creator ready to take the next step in your journey, check out episodify.com. They'll help produce and edit any content you're creating. Whether it's audio or video, short form or long form, they do it all. That's episodify.com. Now, on to the episode. Woohoo! And actually, I encountered today a news, somewhat a leak, that they are gonna remaster another Square Enix or Squaresoft game. Now, my question for you guys is that what game would you want to see remade or remastered?
They're already doing it.
Oh,
7
and
golden stars.
Oh.
7? Super Mario RPG.
Ah,
they're remastering it.
Yes.
Oh, so it's somewhat both of
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
the official
technically.
news about
No,
it.
it's set to release next month. Tomorrow,
already-
depending on when this episode airs.
It's already
For Nintendo Switch.
All right.
And if you guys are confused, yes, that is a Square Enix game.
Super Mario RPG.
Mario
Mario
RPG
RPG.
is
It's a Square
Oh,
Enix
that's
game.
nice. I'm gonna check it out. And how about
I'm
you?
gonna not download it and actually buy it.
well for me a Square Enix game that I'd want to be remastered really is Chrono Trigger because
Oh.
Chrono Trigger is such a great game.
They actually have it.
Remastered?
There was one for the PlayStation 2 where they added cutscenes, but I'm talking about like a real remaster where what they did for for 7
7.
remake,
Like an actual.
full FMV
No, that's not a remaster. It's a remake.
remake. Sorry,
Mhm.
So
of
you
a
want a
remake.
remake, not a
I want a
remaster.
remake than a remaster.
Yes, only because I already played the original, like, because you have to play it like at least 7 times the first time, right?
Is that for different endings?
for different endings?
Ah.
So I probably played it 20.
Yeah,
A lot.
Were
Chrono,
you-
A lot.
Chrono Trigger also has like a lot of different endings, so it's great.
But
great
once
play.
you do like because once you're used to it, it's like 14 hours to finish. Super quick
it's
for an RPG.
for an RPG, it is relatively quick, but the replay is really with the
Yeah. But you also need to remember that even Final Fantasy 7 was technically just 30 plus hours.
if you don't do side quests or something?
If you
Don't
just
grind.
if you don't
If you
go after Emerald, Ultima, get 10 Knights of the Round materia.
Oh, so you can still finish the game without those.
You're not meant to do it. Actually,
really?
technically, people just got crazy with.
yeah, but
completionist tendencies.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for Super Mario RPG, I think the advent of the Super Mario movie made it much easier to remake that. Would you think that you'd want to have the remake in that art style?
They already showed what it looks like, so it's hard to.
Or you still want the paper aesthetics?
No, Super Mario RPG was not paper.
Oh, okay.
Paper Mario,
Which
which is an RPG, is the sequel technically to Super Mario RPG 7 Golden Stars, which was in SNES.
Oh yeah, I remember UFOs of the RPG back in the day.
The what?
UFOs. The
Mm.
disc cartridge system that Nintendo had. It used a 3.5 floppy disk to play.
This is the not official one. The computer shops that had this would have it on all of the SNESs and just copy the floppy disks. Also, you could load the disk and remove the disk and the thing plays. So no, I take it back. They didn't need to copy the disk because you loaded it and then the person can play as long as they don't power off the NES.
Yeah, and also
Yes.
once you reach a certain checkpoint, Because some games required multiple discs to play the next part.
The one that we had in the shop that I played preloaded all the discs.
Mm,
So like Chrono Trigger was like 3,
mhm.
something like that.
So to answer your question, Sushi, like what it was before was something on top of a console, and then you put the disc instead of a
Do you connect it
Floppy
to
disk.
do you connect it to a console?
It goes into
The
where the
cartridge?
cartridge
Yeah.
goes.
For
And then it had a 3.5 floppy
floppy.
drive, literally, where
Oh,
you insert
the game.
where they inserted pirated disc, I assume.
I think it came out during like late 90s because I remember
SNES, so
that's one of the
not
only
late.
ways that was
I
the
remember playing this in like at like 95, so not late 90s.
I guess because I
At
I
least
remember it.
the ones that the ones that I'm pretty sure are not legit.
Yeah, because I remember it was like Armored Core and the Dragon Ball Z RPG was the only way to play the old school Dragon Ball Z RPG
Or
and
was the
Paper Mario.
SNES what do you call that?
Sorry,
Region locked?
maybe no, there wasn't it was in Japanese, so there wasn't like an English version of the game
So you
anyway.
needed the discs.
Because to play the Japanese game,
Yeah. So is it because it's region locked?
possibly I don't know. I was a kid. I literally said, "Oh, Goku."
This might just be because you were playing it in a computer shop that had fake games. I don't know.
Well, that was the only way that I wanted to find like the actual
Game.
so I could put it in the machine, but it was only the UFO. So I think, oh, how much is to make the UFO? And
You know what I did to be cool, quote unquote.
okay,
I had floppy disks that had nothing, and I would put
Labels?
Chrono Trigger.
You label them, even if
and bring it around. And
no one would know.
So and it would,
Now we
so
know.
in computer class,
uh,
when your teacher tells you to take out your
Diskette.
your homework diskette, I would take it out. Chrono Trigger. I forgot the rock and roll racing.
You plant those empty discs.
I might still have some of the discs somewhere in this house, but yes.
but not the UFO.
The
No,
look of
you didn't need it.
the look of disbelief on your face.
You don't need it.
No, I was trying to wonder like how did like,
I was cool in my eyes.
makes
Ne-
sense.
To be fair, no one actually commented that was cool or even reacted. Or probably even knew what Chrono
Yeah,
Trigger
they were
was.
probably clueless about what you were.
But yeah, like
But yes, I did it.
a remake of that's the problem because there was a sort of remake of Chrono Trigger for the Chrono, Radical Dreamers. There was a project that they were trying to do for the longest time of a 3D full FMV remake, but they call it Radical Dreamers, but it never really got off the ground, and I think it was discontinued in the early 2000s. But yeah, that's something near and dear to my heart as far as that
Near and dear to your little
Little
geeky.
leaky heart. Exactly.
So you
Chrono's
want
such a
this?
good
You want this remade with updated graphics, full,
remade.
even voiceovers for the characters.
That would be great because Chrono traditionally never had a voice. He's like a character that doesn't speak through the entirety of the game,
I
except
actually
for
didn't
one
realize
ending.
that.
He never talks. Everybody
I
else
probably
talks.
knew that, but I just don't remember anymore.
He doesn't
I've
have
played
any
too many
dialogue?
He
games.
doesn't have any dialogue.
Whoa.
Like
There's
dot,
only
dot, dot.
yeah. Yes.
That's his dialogue.
He only talks once in a special ending where he yells at other characters, but that's it.
Glenn. I don't know.
Yeah.
The name he
Glenn
was
was the
calling.
frog, right?
Glenn was the frog. Yes, Glenn was the frog.
You see, I actually am not sure because I always just named the frog Glenn.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the frog's name was Glenn.
Officially Glenn.
Because the name of the frog is Frog. The default name of the
But
frog.
he eventually becomes Glenn.
He was the Knight Glenn, but the idea is
Oh.
he accepts his nature as a frog because the only way that the curse will be lifted as a frog was to kill Magus, and Magus becomes a member of your party. So if you don't kill Wizard Vegeta, you don't get a Glenn. You don't get Hunky Frog.
Oh.
I can't remember who Frog was paired with. Was it Luca?
Miss
Yeah,
Piggy.
no. Well, look. I think Luca was Luca
They
the one
broke
that
up.
They broke up. Oh, because Miss Piggy is dating someone
Someone
else now, right?
I don't know, but that's
She is. She is. I know this. I just can't remember who.
the thing is
We're not updated.
every time you talk about like Miss Piggy and Kermit, the only thing I can think of is that Family Guy skit where it's like they show the baby of Kermit the Frog and Kermit, and the baby's just like, "Kill me, please."
What? What? What?
There's a scene in Family Guy where I don't think baby is looking so good. And then they see the baby, and the baby is like this horrific half frog, half pig monstrosity, and just saying, "Please kill me."
I need to see a clip of that episode.
Well, no, after this, but well, we talked about the things that we'd want to see remade. What would you want to see remade?
Well, the leak was about another Square Enix game that's not really FF7, I guess. And they skipped my favorite Final Fantasy game. I really want to see Final Fantasy 8.
So wait. So what was the leak?
Okay, I'm going to say it's for Final Fantasy
9.
10. 10. See, they skipped 8 and 9.
No, I'm pretty sure I heard something about 9 as
It's
well.
10.
Maybe they
But
just announced 10, but I might be imagining that I heard something about 9 as well.
I also might be wrong because this is only a leak. It's not an official news article.
It'd be funny though that if they remade Final Fantasy X during the same time that they relaunched Futurama, because back in college days, the idea was Final Fantasy X is just Futurama. It's about your hero who fell asleep for 1,000 years and then woke up in the future.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, because Tidus is Fry. Yes, that's the thing. Tidus is Fry.
Spoiler. Not really. But you see, FF10 was created with, I guess, good graphics.
No,
And
because
then
10.
they also remastered it, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
10 has wider general appeal because of Yuna.
Huh.
But doesn't 7 have a wide appeal due to Renoa as well?
Wait,
You mean
7?
8?
Oh, sorry, 8.
Not
really.
Yuna levels.
They had a big audience because of the best looking guy out there, Squall. like a lot of females played FF8.
Because of Squall.
By a lot, we mean Sushi.
Hey, not only I did have friends and we did have gamer guides to guide us through FF8, you know.
Is it because he wears a fur lined jacket?
It's because he
Was wearing a crop top.
he is
crop top.
dressed like 90s J-pop, J-rock.
Gact? He's modeled after Gact.
He
if
was
you're from-
modeled about
Mhm.
Gact?
What was Gak?
Gact is Final Fantasy character brought to life.
He's a
Well,
singer?
J-pop,
Yeah,
J-rock.
J-pop.
So
Pop
it's
rock?
actually the
Pop rock.
other way around, apparently, according to Sushi, where Final Fantasy where Final Fantasy is just Gak brought to video game.
But he also has a character model in, I think, 7. I don't remember. 7 or 10. I don't remember. But yeah, Gact is used as a character model for Final Fantasy games. He's the ultimate emo hero.
Wasn't he for the later ones, like the 13,
13?
14s?
Possibly.
Because I kind of remember him, like, that was news where he finally became a Final Fantasy character. It's like a
But-
dream come true for him.
Well, we'll have to research if Squall was really modeled. But that's to my knowledge. He was
Or
modeled.
that's what you were told as a kid by all the other Squall
Nah,
fangirls.
I was already
kid.
So
an adult in my 20s
So
when I
7
discovered.
so 8 is the one that you want
I
remastered.
really want to see it remastered. So that Squall is
Remade.
I don't. Sorry, remade.
Remade.
Thanks for correcting me. Because they already have a remaster. He looks really feminine. I don't like that kind of art.
I think they're gonna, because before they do that, they need to finish 7 first.
Of course, of course.
We're just taking them forever, so I don't know.
Do you want 8 because you know that inevitably they will create porn of it?
What? Why are we
Because Rule 42.
Yes, yeah.
43?
Whatever.
43. And time's up. All right.
Final thoughts?
Well, they did remaster FF8. I don't like the art style. Did your games have any remaster? I mean, that's my
It's
final.
coming out.
Oh, right. Yours is
Oh,
coming out.
also, they're also remastering Paper Mario, the good Paper Mario. They
What's
just announced that last week.
Good paper mark.
Anyway, Final Fantasy VII was the one I would also ask for, and as you all know,
It's
at
already-
least the first part is good.
They're working on it. Yeah. And then your Chrono Trigger is already.
No, they haven't
No,
made
they
a
haven't
remake.
made a remake.
Yeah.
I
It's a
would also
remake.
like.
Hopefully, yeah. They continue it, right?
It's hard because the character models are based from Akira Toriyama. So Akira Toriyama might not agree because they'll have to pay him money
Oh,
if they're gonna use
They're
his
probably gonna
And
if they do that,
that's
they're
a
probably
tough-
gonna do Dragon Ball.
Dragon Quest,
Yeah, Dragon Quest.
the RPG that he
Yeah.
actually does the character
Yeah,
designs
that's
for.
a tough
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
All right. And next, Elvin would be talking about his topic. So, Elvin?
So
Oh my
the
God, I just
topic,
realized I don't have a topic. Anyway, continue.
so the topic that I have is actually something that is not necessarily geeky, but something that is on my mind. Spaghetti carbonara is a dish that we are very familiar with, but I want to find out, how do you cook spaghetti carbonara?
Simple. I don't.
But first, spaghetti is it?
It's the noodle.
All right. Okay. And then carbonara is
Wait,
the,
am I right? Spaghetti is the pasta. Right?
Yeah, but spaghetti is the,
pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my question. So it's the round,
The yeah
regular,
The regular noodle.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
regular.
noodle.
Noodle. Yeah.
Noodle dog.
So you're asking if we cook it with eggs or if we cook it with cream?
Yeah, like how do you cook your carbonara?
Well, I'm a Filipino and I cook it with cream.
No judgment. As I said before, this is a safe space.
As I
Um,
said before, I don't.
well,
No, I mean like, it's a tiger.
okay.
We have a tiger in the house. Anyway, yeah, ours is the Filipino, like the spaghetti which you ate. Wait, you didn't have this. We had spaghetti downstairs. You didn't get some. Anyway, it's Filipino spaghetti, Filipino carbonara. It's sweet.
Sweet
With
carbonara.
cream, with cream.
No, it's sweeter than what carbonara is supposed to taste like.
Okay.
And I don't call it spaghetti carbonara because I cook it with the flat noodles. I don't know what
Fettuccine.
fettuccine.
Oh, we also
Yeah.
do.
See,
Mm-hmm.
we don't call it spaghetti carbonara. It's just carbonara. But what is the correct way of? I've seen
Eggs,
people.
it's eggs.
I've seen people.
You don't. Carbonara is creamless.
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly.
So if you like talk to Italian people, they say that you need to have like guanciale and
Huh?
guanciale, the cheek of the pork, a pork cheek.
Oh,
Sisig.
Yeah, kinda.
Sisig carbonara. There you
Sisig
go.
carbonara. Then you
Oh,
have
no, sorry.
Parmigiano Reggiano or Pecorino Romano. Those cheeses.
We do put Parmigiano.
Yeah, and then you have the egg, and
But
then
also
you're mixing
Eden is
it.
fine.
Yeah, and the thing is, the story goes that they say that that is the more traditional carbonara, but the name carbonara used to be something that they called the food that the Americans cooked during World War II.
Mhm.
So they would have like spaghetti because that's what they had, and then they would put in bacon, which is what they had,
Uh-huh.
and cream, which is what they had.
oh.
So it actually has cream.
So we got it from
I mean, I'm sure
Americans.
I'm sure we didn't invent it,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, it's just a
Like
curious
cream
thing.
carbonara, I'm sure someone.
We got apparently it looks like we got it from the American.
Yeah, I'm sure
influence
someone else did it anyway.
with what they had.
Yeah. Why would you invent carbonara in the Philippines is the thing, right? Why would you invent something that's pasta and cream in the olden days when you can get, well, we also didn't invent adobo, but still, like,
I think
know.
because Americans are very big on milk.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
yeah, that's why I don't think we invented it.
Yeah. I mean, but when we were an American colony, they would have introduced a lot of milk in our diet because it's kind of like the thing that Americans do, right? I think they just give
Colonize?
that, but also like they say, oh, you're kids, so you're gonna give you milk as a growing. You need milk to grow and become bigger and stronger, and so milk suddenly there's like a surplus of milk, and so you mix it. How old is speaking of like that sopas? Isn't sopas like a thing that uses milk as well?
Filipino style, I think, because I
It's so weird because technically sopas just means soup.
Yeah.
But
isn't it just broth,
no, it means soup.
veggies?
But when we say sopas in the Philippines,
Uh-huh.
we mean macaroni
Lettuce
with
carrots.
milk.
Milk.
It's a specific soup.
Yeah. And isn't that similar to how we make our carbonara? Except
You know
the
what?
sauce
But
is
do you know what's faster than sopas?
what's faster than sopas?
Pasta.
Mm.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
To people who are weirded out why Sushi has never heard about this joke, it's because she grew up in Saudi Arabia.
Until you're like a teen. So
Yeah,
In my
this is
teens.
because the joke goes, what food is fast? Sopas. What's faster?
my God,
Pasta. What's the fastest?
Oh my God.
Yakisoba. Because you cook it in 2 minutes. This is the commercial during that time. Anyway,
It was a commercial.
it was no
And
the what was faster wasn't a commercial,
Oh.
but the it's just 2 minutes. Something I don't remember the song, but they emphasize na 2 minutes you have your
Hopefully.
yakisoba.
Hopefully it's in YouTube. I want to see it.
It probably
Laughed
Yeah.
way too hard on that
sopas
show.
pasta.
So Elvin, how do you cook your carbonara? Spaghetti carbonara.
I actually just cook with a lot of oil. Because it's there's
Without cream and or milk.
I do use cream because I do like the texture. When you have like carbonara, the way that they look cooking it, like the Italians cook it, for me it seems like a little bit like scrambled eggs already.
Yeah, it's no.
Yeah, it which is fine. If they like it, that's great. It's just that I like
But it's a no for me.
okay, and that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's good.
No, I mean it's
Haven't
they
tried.
like it, but for us, if you're Filipino, you're not gonna like it. Is what I would think.
It's just noodles with eggs. I
Egg-
haven't tried the original carbonara.
Which is
Because you're
fine.
removing the bacon.
It was more for me. It's more of the
Omelette with
milky.
noodles.
It's the milkiness that you get. There's like a certain taste that milk has. That's why you like butter. That's why like buttered toast tastes so good. That's why brown butter tastes amazing, or steak cooked in butter, or anything cooked in butter. It's great. It's because of those milk solids, and the milky thing is what you get in cream. The cheese kind of
I
brings
think
a
you also just get it from MSG anyway.
well, MSG is like the meat. Like you're getting the meatiness.
No, but you can like they tried MSG with almost everything. It doesn't work with some things, but for most things,
like the
Oh,
fattiness.
anything that it can dissolve in, it works.
Oh, yeah,
is-
that's
is
true.
what
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
This was a recent video by Ragusia or someone. One of them.
One of those
or
food
or-
YouTubers,
what's the other name? The
Joshua Weissman.
other one. Steak with
Guga?
Guga. Yeah.
Guga.
Some one of them did this.
Guga,
Anyway.
yeah, where it has to dissolve. No, they were. Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking
Or
about.
it was
It's
actually all of them.
it's Joshua Weissman, Guga, and Nigel Nung.
Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger, yes.
Hiya.
And they were doing an MSG contest, and they
Of
found
course,
that
they've been talking about
The magic.
how did we miss Nigel
Nigel
now
now.
when talking about MSG?
MSG.
Hiya.
Yeah. But yeah, that when you have something that is just nice as cream, it really elevates the thing. It's so nice to eat, and it's kind of like a light, nice, heavy sauce. But honestly, I'm not as fond of carbonara anymore because of the advent of that bechamel spaghetti. So you get spaghetti.
what?
Bechamel. Yeah, bechamel, yeah.
Bechamel.
Bechamel. So you have your red sauce spaghetti, right? Your traditional bolognese, yeah, whatever. And then no, because that's sometimes
How
Filipino.
do you actually pronounce it? I actually don't know.
I don't know.
But
either.
I think it's
But people-
I think the Italian way probably is bolognese, right?
Yeah,
but like when
bolognese. You have that red sauce spaghetti, and then instead of grating cheese on top, you make a bechamel sauce a cheese, yeah, a
Melted
bechamel sauce,
cheese
melted cheese
with the
with a roux,
mhm,
a white sauce, and you put that on
on
top
top
of your
of.
sauce and of the red sauce, so it mixes and turns into a pink sauce, and then it's like really, really good and really cheesy and creamy.
Is it?
Wait,
Is the
did you get this idea from the cafeteria, from our college cafeteria?
No, I don't think so.
Because
It's
for context, there was a, I forgot the name of the place, but they sold pasta, they sold French toast.
okay.
They had red and white
white?
pasta,
Uh-huh.
and then 90% of people would order it mixed
For the pink sauce.
to get the
The
pink
light.
sauce. So you probably saw it from there at one point, and then I
I
don't know.
might have saw that, but at the same time, when I was a kid, there's a specific family member that would have their pasta in that way, and those are always like memorable pastas, because there's something about a cream sauce that really speaks to a child, I guess. And
Mm.
when you have a creamy sauce
Mhm.
and a nice pasta, and they mix it all together, it's better than the even a sweet thing or maybe a savory thing.
It's the nano nano flavors.
Nano nano.
Nano, nano.
Sweet, sour, and salty. Nano nano. Nano nano. What? No.
Commercial.
No.
Commercial. I'm trying to remember the name of that
Nano
product.
nano. That is the name.
The name of the product is Nano Nano.
Yeah, nano. No, just nano.
Okay.
Nano nuts. Nuts?
Nuts?
Nano.
Is,
Nano nano.
isn't it a candy?
No, it's like mixed nuts, I think.
Is it mixed nuts?
That's from what I actually never had.
All
He just
'cause
remembers the commercial.
Yeah, because I can remember that commercial, but I
Because
don't
I
remember
grew
the
up
product.
in an island.
Yeah, but I also remember that the product, the commercial,
Because
but I don't remember the
this
product.
is mainstream, like ABS-CBN.
Yeah, yeah,
or,
but I
or
don't remember the
GMA.
product. That's the weird thing.
I think
I can't
it's
Remember
visualize
the
the
song.
I can't visualize the product.
what's the
So
what's the nut that's famous? The
Nagaraya?
3-in-1. The 3-in-1.
A 3-in-1?
Mixed nuts.
Is it
Yeah,
ding dong?
It's
Ding
like ding dong. It's what I remember. I'm not sure.
But can you
No,
visualize the
I can
you-
visualize the
There's
commercial.
commercial? I'm
It's
talking
not
about the,
connected
can you
to the-
visualize
the
the product?
product.
the
Again, we
package?
didn't have it in our island.
But that's a weird thing. I can't visualize that at all. But
I don't think it's prime time. I think it's more on you watch Ana Luna at 2 p.m.
maybe.
something.
during siesta or
1992
something.
with Judy Ann Santos.
But did you guys ever have
Gladys
that
Reyes.
type of pizza, that pasta
Type
that I
of-
talk about?
The white and red sauce.
Yeah,
It
the red
kinda-
sauce with the white sauce.
Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Jollibee spaghetti.
if you
Instead of
make
cheese.
if you make
Mm.
Filipino pizza, which
Oh,
is
pizza or pasta?
Filipino pasta, which is the sweet creamy red sauce, and add a lot of cheese, you roughly get the same thing, which is the spaghetti that we have downstairs right now, which we forgot we forgot to put out for you
Oh, it was like
because it
specifically
was
for
Tish's
us.
birthday yesterday. Anyway, yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you enlighten me about that white and red sauce?
So it's
does it taste sweeter?
Yes.
It kinda because it still has a little bit of sweetness because that's the Filipino flavor.
Oh, all right.
But it's kind of like a replacement for cheese because it is a cheese bechamel sauce.
Mhm.
So you make a roux with butter and flour. You add milk
Mhm.
and then a little bit of cream and then cheese until it thickens.
It's
And-
essentially deconstructed cheese mixed with the red sauce, right?
Yeah, well, it's a cheese
Kinda,
sauce. It's
yeah.
a cheese sauce. So the important thing there is that the cheese sauce is able to get into each. Because don't you ever get annoyed at when you're eating the red pasta, and then you get the part that has all of the cheese, and you're really happy, and then afterwards the rest is just, oh, there's no cheese on this. Oh, there's no
then
cheese
then
on
you
this.
just grate more cheese. That's what we do.
Well, not everybody was allowed to grate more cheese on it.
Or some people don't really know how to grate cheese. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Is- You don't know how to grate cheese.
I used to not know.
Why you just?
I had people grate cheese. for
I mean,
me.
to be fair,
To be fair, yeah. But it's
Gra-
just funny.
grating cheese is one of my first disillusions in life. Because you know how your parents like tell you, "Oh, you're doing so good with something," right? So when I was a kid, I used to grate our cheese I helped out with the spaghetti and grate the cheese. And my mom told me that when I grated the cheese, it just tasted better.
Well,
And I
that's
believe that until like
that's one way to get your children help
yeah,
you
so I
in the
like
kitchen.
yeah. And then like I believed that for so long, and I always told people, yeah, I can grate the cheese better than
Anyone
anyone
else?
else. Yeah.
All
Um.
right.
Well,
So how do you cook your carbonara? Is
I cook my
you don't.
carbon. I don't cook my carbonara.
We won't cook
No,
carbonara
it's just
anymore.
because it seems
The,
like it's
the answer is you
incomplete
don't cook. I don't cook carbonara.
because
Sushi doesn't
it's
cook.
an incomplete sauce. It's like you need the red and the white with the pasta, and it makes it better. I think for any Italians out there that like it, you still have your carbonara. It's great, but I think add a little red sauce in there as well. You'll find that you'll enjoy it a little bit more.
And thank you so much, Alvin, for your very tasty topic. Up next, we have JR, and your topic is.
And then we're gonna go not old school, but whatever school, and we're gonna talk about D&D. Yeah.
We're not ready for D&D.
I mean, I just looked around and saw D&D stuff. So obviously we do play D&D. Sushi, why haven't you played D&D? The D&D, by the way, for you people who don't know, why are you here? Is Dungeons and Dragons. Why are you even listening to this podcast? But yeah,
Oh gosh, why haven't I played Dungeons and Dragons? I tried. Like we did have vampires in during college, if you remember, and
Vampire the
the
Masquerade.
Masquerade second edition.
masquerades. I think that
Vampire the
was the game.
Masquerade.
Yeah, yeah.
Second
I
edition. Second
Which
edition.
what clan did you play?
She
Oh,
never
gosh.
got to start.
Yeah, I was just creating the character, and we never started the campaign. And
Oh.
that I don't really have a good. I guess I don't have a good dungeon master or game master to play with.
Storyteller was the game master of the World of
It
Darkness
wasn't
system.
that the storytellers that volunteered weren't good. It's just that
Our schedules doesn't line up, I guess.
they would they want they just don't. They
They
just keep
or
wanting
This is
to
in
start.
college.
yeah, it was way back 2005 to 2000, circa
Whatever. Yeah.
around those years.
Because this is the same person that was also DMing 3.5 for us. 3.5 just came out, but also just like played like 5 sessions maybe. I don't know. They just don't finish. Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, so they really never finished the campaign, I guess.
They did,
They did.
before you arrived.
Oh,
So you were anyway, yeah.
I
The
don't
reason I
remember.
didn't get into vampire because I like rolling polyhedral dice specifically. So the tens,
Tens.
yeah, no go for me.
You felt limited by only the D10s.
It's not that I was limited. It's just that I don't like rolling monotonous dice. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, it's a different system, and it's very moody, and a lot of the challenges for it is really based on the
No, I didn't even get to that part. I just don't like dice games where you only roll one. I don't like RPGs where you only roll one kind of die.
But isn't the die? It depends on what your character is.
Doesn't matter. If it's just
Oh.
one kind of die, I
yeah,
don't
the
like it.
storyteller system only used the D10,
Oh, really?
which is the one that
It's like D10s. I can't remember second edition, but the latest one at least is you have your what do you call the color dice? We're supposed to be talking of D&D, but we're talking about
dice.
VTM. But okay, it's fine.
I don't know
Tabletop
the name of it.
RPGs. Vampire. There's like you have dice that are this color and dice that are. You have two or more. I think it can
I
be
think
more
the
where
new
you
one,
can flip
the new
on
one,
those ones.
yeah, the new one is they have like special dice that are like
It's just a different color. So like if you're rolling 10, two of them. This is just a very vague example. Actually, don't play it. But like if you were rolling 10, two of them are a different color, and those two, a 10 is a crit hit and the one is a crit fail, but on the others there's no crit. Something like that.
Well, do they signify
Signify.
signify? Do they signify something specific for the game or for your character?
Yeah, it's
Not for
crit.
the no. It's just that you can crit with those.
Yeah, so the dice that have a different color,
Is for
if
critical
if you roll a certain
hits?
number on them,
Mm-hmm.
they indicate that the roll is either critically successful or critically a failure.
I don't
Oh,
know
I
the
see.
exact mechanics, but yeah, that's roughly how it works.
Ah,
But still, just D10s.
still the
That's why we never started the Star Wars RPG that Elvin wanted to play,
The
which was
Star Wars
D8s.
No, the Star Wars RPG does not have die. It uses
Even worse.
it uses the die.
oh my
It
god.
uses dice that have faces, not numbers.
Still D8s.
It has a D8, a D10, a D6, a D12. And
So never mind. That's why we haven't played the L5R RPG that other friends wanted. It's because it's just D8s.
D10.
D10s.
It's also D10s. The
Oh.
L5R is also D10s.
Battlestar Galactica is D8s.
Yeah.
The board game.
The board game
Which
uses
is fine
D8s.
because it's a board game.
It's a bargain. Yeah.
It's not a dice
Not
game.
the end.
But all of those games are really fun. D&D, I think, is like I played D&D like when I was in the second grade.
Wow.
So
you
way, way back 1980.
you had friends.
I had neighbors. I had
you have
older
neighbors.
I had
that-
older neighbors.
Wow.
I
I
had
think the surprise here, Sushi, is that we have friends, period.
Gosh, so what does what
it's to be fair, that's a kind of surprising thing. But generally it's neighbors. When you're kids, like if you live in like a neighborhood, the older kids will be the one that gets you. And the Dungeons and Dragons was kind of like one of the things that we played. Advanced Dungeons
Oh.
and Dragons back in the day.
my gosh.
To be fair, AD&D is what people refer to it now because
Yeah.
of community.
Growing up, I had to play Pictionary. So this
Fictionary, to be fair, Fictionary is not a bad game.
It's not.
Okay, and then
Well,
and then chess
depends
and
on your
Othello.
friends.
Othello.
I
Actually-
played with adults.
Did you have the Pictionary with the
You had to.
what do you call that? The bi-wing plane
What is?
as the sharpener? Is that what you had?
I'm not
No.
sure. It's not ours.
The Pictionary second edition
Well, this,
maroon box.
This was.
There was a die-cast
Mhm.
bi-wing plane,
Mm-hmm.
which was the sharpener for the pencils. Oh,
Wow, but no, with the
No.
Pictionary that my parents' friends had was with a blue box.
I had that one because I
Oh.
bought that in 2001, fourth edition.
But
I
we
think.
were growing up during the 90s. That was what I was playing.
I think we
unlike
had a
you guys
really
in
old one,
D&D.
or I don't know. Maybe that it was a more special edition. I don't know. It came from Canada.
But what edition did you guys play
The what?
first of Dungeons and Dragons?
3.5.
Oh, I haven't really played D&D.
And that's fine. It's something that you can do and report
Now,
back to
yeah.
us. Yeah.
Or you can watch it by watching the roll.
Why not?
Well, you can always watch. I think that's a really nice thing nowadays.
Why
where you
watch
can
Crit Roll when you can watch a campaign based in the Philippines where you get to play as your favorite babaylan or blah blah blah. Anyway,
I do watch clips of not the whole campaign.
even if you don't want to, you get to these days, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are a lot of different,
they're trending.
lots of different things. But I kind of enjoy that. I'm observing how the world is enjoying this hobby that I had as a kid, and then
To be fair, D&D these days is very different from D&D back.
Mhm.
exactly, it you can see how it's changing over
Yeah.
time.
Because D&D back then was, oh, I need to roll a 10 to kill this guy. It was never theater. Or maybe
It-
it, was for a
it
very, very, very
depends.
select group of people.
Yeah, so the change of style. But what I'm talking about is I'm seeing people like, oh, this is great in D&D, but I also want to do these other things. Oh, there's this other system that I can do these other things. And so people are then gravitating to these other things, similar to how we were when we started playing AD&D and then said, hey, let's try something new, and then got 3.0. Then, hey, let's try something new, then 3.5, and so on and so on. Then Fate, then World of Darkness, then all of these other games. It's just a funny thing to see people.
To be fair, it's also that Wizards stuck to 5.0. or not 5.0, 5th edition, right? Like
Yeah.
there's what do you call that now? 1D&D is what you call it
They're
now.
trying to go for the 1D&D thing.
It's different. It's compatible, but it's like your TCG where you can play with your old cards, but they're gonna suck compared to the new ones.
I guess.
Except for the ones that are. It's long story, but yeah.
But it's
My idea of different, because I've seen clips on Facebook, different D&Ds, like we see D&D emo edition, Pokemon edition,
yeah, I'm familiar with that.
electrician edition. So they're role playing, I guess, not like, I'm not sure how they build the campaign around being electricians or being in Walmart, for example. So D&D Walmart edition. So what are you? Are you a manager?
To be fair, this is probably not D&D that
Yeah,
you're seeing.
it's a
More
Probably
skit.
like-
another.
I'm familiar with the skits.
But you're
That's
familiar.
skits, yeah.
Oh, this is actual D&D.
No, it's a skit where
By who?
they're I can't remember the name of the troupe, but essentially they're D&D players. But what if the D&D play the genre that they play is
Electricians.
electricians
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah.
in
I-
Walmart.
oh,
Walmart,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
professional wrestlers.
I know this because I edited the How Not to DM episode where the guy was the guest. We have a show somewhere about how not to DM. Shout out to Derek, and he interviews dungeon masters
Oh.
and people with skits, stuff like that. And that episode is out by the time this is out, where he interviews that guy.
I also want to know what your perception is, because as a person that hasn't really played D&D, but you've sort of been bombarded with all of this media and
Or
observed
with
people,
guys who play D&D.
guys that play D&D. So what is your like observation, like what do you understand like about D&D? Because it's an interesting thing to get the perspective of somebody
Well,
that's
I've already tried creating
It's
a
demonic.
character. What?
It was the thing.
Old grown-ups?
Why?
Back in
no.
back in
Why
the
can't I
80s.
remember? There's a line of Tom Cruise. I think it's Tunnels and Trolls. It's a movie from the 1980s about the satanic panic for Dungeons and Dragons, starring Tom Hanks in his first movie role,
Wow.
where he was a kid who says, he's gonna jump off the building in order to cast the spell it's very uninformed about actual Dungeons and Dragons, and they conflate Dungeons and Dragons with magic. If you do that, the dungeon master will not be able to cast the spell.
Oh, what?
And yeah, it's hilarious. But there's a line Tom Hanks says there, which is, "Why can't I remember?" And it's just
Their
on top
version
the-
of D&D is more like the something in Gargoyles in Riverdale. Riverdale has an arc
Yes,
where they're
I
playing
heard.
a version of D&D which they name something in Gargoyles.
I hear that.
Ghoul,
Is that?
Ghouls and Gargoyles?
I think
Ghouls
it's
and Gargoyles.
it's the same episode where several of them are killed by a ghost or something.
Episodes. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Riverdale's
their
crazy.
their version of D&D there is the
Yeah,
Tom Hanks D&D.
it's just
I mean,
hilarious.
I think D&D is being controlled by the storyteller, the dungeon master.
Okay.
Mm.
And then, yeah, you build your characters. So each person or member of the party role plays a certain, I guess, a certain race, a certain, I don't know. I'm not really familiar because the one that I tried playing was vampire. So we're a certain type of vampire. We have
Family.
age,
It's
a
family,
clan,
right?
a family.
Clan.
Age.
Yeah.
Age is also important. The
So-
generation that you are.
Yeah. So when you're in a certain clan, you have a specific talent, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the
specific
the
skill
clan
sets.
has a specific.
Yeah,
it's just
territory.
it's just so funny, even in because the older your generation is, like if you're Gen 5,
Uh-huh.
that means you're 5 generations away from Cain, the first vampire. And then in the modern, by modern I mean back in the 2000s, early 2000s, late 90s, you play 10th generation vampires or 11th generation vampires.
So is that like the power is weaker?
You're weaker. You're much
Ah,
weaker.
alright.
But the funny thing is, in later editions of World of Darkness, you now play 12th or 13th generation, and you're almost like have no powers. You're not you
you're
can't
human.
you're almost just a human, except you get really really bad sunburn.
What the?
That's
And
the
you use guns.
and you, yeah. It's,
So does sunblock work for those vampires?
it's
It
it's it's
does.
a it's a funny thing because like even in the RPG they're like these younger generation are they're so weak. The older generation is more powerful. It's hilarious.
Oh, and that's time.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
yeah.
Final
Final
thoughts?
thoughts there,
Final
Chair?
thoughts, D&D is not like ghouls and gargoyles. but
Shout out to Tom Hanks
and
in
what's his name?
Riverdale.
What's Riverdale's name?
Asi, what's his name? Asai,
No, the other guy, the Cody.
Cody, Cody.
No. I mean, the sweet life. Anyway, these days, perfect time to play D&D if you actually want to get into it because you get to actually see how people play it instead of guessing
There's a
by
lot.
going in YouTube and seeing people play and all that stuff.
There are communities now, and of course, yeah, there's
There were
YouTube.
communities then, but
Well, it's easier to access now. We have Discord, we have Facebook
Yeah.
groups. Yeah.
you don't need to have friends
Well, you will have
to
friends
play D&D. You don't need to.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. And that's our show. Thanks for listening to the Random Pinoy Geek podcast. This has been Sushi with Alvin and JR. And remember, it's okay to geek out as long as you know when to stop.